I did business, like I'm from India, so people like Indian clothes. So I sold Indian clothes for a while.
Yeah.
Then I got tired of it. So I wanted some change. So
right.
you know.
Well, this really seems like a really good fit for you because you're a pharmacist, and you found a great company and product line that will help to facilitate your ministry.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Because I look at it as a holistic thing. It's spirit, soul, and body.
Sure.
So I'm there to minister to you in the spirit.
And it's in that order that life takes place.
Going back to what you spoke about, you know, why I started doing what I was doing, what I'm doing currently. Growing up as a child, I was very sickly. In the first 10 years of my life, I spent most of my days in the hospital.
Wow.
I was born as a blue baby, so the doctors only gave 4 days to live. But God's grace, I am 35.
Wow.
So, you know, God gave me a life to live, and I knew when that happened, there's a purpose behind it.
Absolutely.
And taking medication like breakfast, lunch, mid-afternoon snack, and dinner. I was determined when I grew up, I want to know how they made those medications because I had side effects from it.
Yes.
You know, so I said that's what led me into doing BPharm, bachelor's in pharmacy, and then from there, as I was learning, I wanted to go into mission field as a medical missionary, which is still my goal.
Wow.
But I knew I cannot work 8 to 5 job and do the mission work at the same time.
Exactly.
And then in 2002, fast forward, came to States. In 2002, my father-in-law passed away all of a sudden out of a heart attack. None of us knew about him having any history of having high blood pressure or anything. And so I said, when that happened, I told my husband, let's check let's do a blood work, and we found out he has high cholesterol. And being a pharmacist, I'm not against pharmaceuticals, but I believe there are natural ways.
Absolutely.
Other than believing in healing, that God can heal you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are wisdom, God gives you wisdom on how to do certain things with your health.
Sure.
And I said, you know what, let's do natural ways, and I did a lot of changed our diet plan and introduced exercise and stuff into his diet plan. It was a little hard, but he is thankful now that he did that change because his cholesterol is almost normal now.
That's
after
awesome.
About 7 years of us doing the natural things.
7 years?
Yeah. We saw immediate change in 6 months, but it was gradually coming to his last blood work. He was only about 4 points high off the normal cholesterol level. So for me, that was a big encouragement and thing. So I started doing health and wellness seminars, being a pharmacist. So I would teach people how to eat right, exercise, because it's a combination of eating right, doing right exercises, and taking the right supplements.
And prayer.
And of course, I was, so it was like, okay, it's a combination of that.
Sure.
So we were like, so I started teaching people. So people started asking me, okay, now you taught us how. I've seen difference in people's blood sugar level coming down because I teach them how to eat a low glycemic index food, which helps you balance your blood sugar better.
Right.
And they were like, okay, what supplements? So I recommended them to go to regular drugstore and get the supplements. They were like, we've been taking that. It's not making any difference.
Working, huh?
So I said, okay, what company can I work with? Because my bottom line goal is like in Genesis 1, where when God made us, He made us in His image and His likeness, and He did that for a purpose.
Sure.
And that's where my core values come from. Okay, what is the purpose for which you were put on this earth? And the last thing you want to do is go before your time because you had some kind of disorder which you could have taken care of while you were on this earth, so you could have finished what you were supposed to finish on this earth.
Exactly.
So, saying that, I was looking for a company along that line, and Advocare came to be that, because the focus of Advocare is honoring God, and then friends, families, business. The core values. What is your purpose? It's your purpose that's going to drive you doing the business. So Advocare kind of helped me to marry the two together. Like, you know, what I was teaching, plus, you know, then it has core supplements that will help people. It has helped me.
Some of the other things that are really important to people when they're making business decisions and they're making transitional decisions is faith. How does that impact your success at home and at work?
Spending time with God is the crucial piece, which I do first thing in the morning. Like my mentor says, you need to at least spend 7 minutes with the Holy Spirit, with God. You know, we want to spend 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes it's being a mom, being a wife, it's not possible.
Exactly.
So he says at least spend 7 minutes, and you know, if at all possible, I always do that, and then, you know, God willing, I mean, if it fits, I will do a prolonged, like at least an hour or two of Bible study and different things on my own. That is what keeps me stable during the day, no matter what stress comes, you know, because life always throws a curveball.
Exactly.
But it's how you react to it is the key. And
so true. Faith is crucial.
Crucial, yeah.
It's crucial in any relationship. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's a, you know, romantic relationship, mother-daughter or sister-brother. The faith is very important because that's your founding principles that are going to help you decide how you're going to handle a situation and choose love over hate and, you know, good over evil. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I love cooking. I love to make big meals. When I cook, I make big meals. So when I cook, and that's kind of, I love cooking. I love trying different, you know, I'm from India. It's not just the Indian food we eat in the house. I do Thai food, I do Vietnamese, American foods, cuisines, you know, I go online and find a recipe. Or make my own recipe. If I don't have an ingredient, I don't stress about it. I'm like, okay, let's just throw this and see how it goes. So that's another thing I do, read books.
What's the last book that you read?
The last book that I read
the last great book that you read.
Ultimate Sales by Dan Kennedy. And I would recommend anybody to do that. It has changed thought process, and it has helped me better to do marketing and sales. And then the other thing I do is I like to spend quality time. I would go out in the playground with my kids. You know, spend time.
So you're a mother of 2?
Yes.
And they are a girl and a boy?
No, 2 girls, 7, and my oldest will be 10 in 2 weeks.
How do you balance your roles across work and life? I mean, you know, as women, we do so many things, you know, all day long, every day. And sometimes it's really hard for us to balance our roles across, you know, business and home, and especially with technology, you know, there's no real boundary anymore between if you have a home office. I mean, that's just really laying it on, you know. There's no boundary, so you can literally work, you know, 24/7 if you want to.
Choose to.
Exactly.
I have my time slots. Like I have time slot that I spend with my husband, the time that I quality take for my kids, and we try as a family to work hard to make sure we stick to that. You know, there are pluses and minuses, but yeah, that's our striving
for the most part. Yes, that's the norm.
Yeah.
If someone were trying to make a decision between you and your product and a competitor, what would be I would say 3 deciding factors that they should focus on when they're trying to make their decision?
First is, what is the purpose they want to accomplish on this earth? Because the bottom line is...
Well, that's huge. Do you know how many people haven't been able to answer that question?
And that's where I come in. When I talk to somebody, people tell me I'm slow in business building, and I would rather be slow because I'm looking for a long-term relationship versus having you try it for 30 days and then, you know, you didn't like it, but okay, that's fine. But don't go out and say something that is not
negative.
true. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so what I do is I sit with the person, and then I'll say, okay, what is your goals? What are you trying to accomplish on this earth? And going back to the purpose for which they were sent on this earth. And once we do that, and then say, okay, what is the next thing you want? You want financial freedom. You want to get healthier. I mean, pretty much they get me as a life coach.
And that's awesome. I can hear that.
I look at a person as a holistic, the spirit, soul, and the body. And the spirit is equally important.
Sure
soul is equally important, and body is equally important.
It's everything.
So that's the way I approach it. So if a person is looking at it, I would say find out your purpose and see if what I have to offer fits your purpose. And the third thing is where you want to go with this.
And how, if they were to choose you as a business partner, how accessible are you?
I'm pretty much accessible as a mentor to them. I am accessible because I've, like I said, being an administrator and a principal minister for the last 10 years, there are people in Delaware that still call me, and I will put aside, as long as they'll text me, I need to talk to you and I need to talk to you now.
Wow.
And they know when they do that, they know it's not like, okay, Susan is going to tell me, okay, call me back later.
Right.
I will, if at all possible. Like, I'm in a meeting like this, I'll immediately check my numbers and say, oh, okay, you called, I was in a meeting, I apologize.
And success with Advocare, how would an individual get started, and what is the investment? Is it affordable?
It is very affordable. This is the only network marketing company that I have found that did not require any monthly requirement. Like you're not.
That's huge for a lot of people right now.
Because see, that with me, that was one of the key things, because my husband is the only consistent breadwinner, right now, and I didn't want to get into a company that I have to do every month and stock up my pantry with products.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. So when I found Advocare, that's one of the things that I liked. When they said there is no monthly requirement, I said, what are you talking about? What is the catch here? What is the catch here?
Yeah.
What it is, you come in as a distributor, you get immediately 20% off.
Okay.
Then you can either work your way up to 40%, which we help you to do that. It's basically introducing the products to your families and friends. And whatever you do, it all comes under you, so you build up to 40%, which is basically comes up to $2,100. Plus a distributorship, which is $79. And, but, if you don't have $2,100, you have 6 weeks to get to $2,100. And the way you do is, you put me in front of the people that you want to be introduced to the product, and I talked to them and I said, hey, this is an energy drink. You're not just getting an energy drink which gives you the highs and the lows. This is a well-balanced combination of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, which also not only helps you get rid of free radicals, but which is one of the key killer of energy. And so you're putting good stuff in your system versus what you're getting out there compared to other energy drinks.
Right.
And then also, if you're looking to lose weight, we have a good metabolic nutritional system. And these products are not, they're put together by Olympic and sports advisory boards, and we have a core group of signed board doctors who put these products together. So that's pretty much it. And once you get to your 40%, that's your 40% for life. And every year, just like you renew your Costco membership or Sam's Club membership, there's a small renewal fee every year, which is $50, and that's pretty much it.
So that's what's really important to a lot of people, is that they have a support system that they know that they can depend upon if they're do, as you just mentioned, have a big goal. Yeah, it's important for them to know that they will have a support system to help them reach that goal, and that they're not by themselves. Or
no, we are like a family. It's how you define to me how much you want or how less you want me involved.
Okay. Here, what is next for you?
What's my next for me is to finish up my book, and then of course still go out and prospect, and looking to Millennium professionals to be one of those platforms to gain those prospects.
Wonderful.
And then once I get them, to mentor them to push them to the next level.
That's awesome. Of course, if people want to get a hold of you, they can reach you. You have a personality profile at the Millennium Professionals Magazine website, and a work-life balance, work-family balance section of the website. And if they wanted to get a hold of you otherwise, how would they do that?
They can call me at my phone number, which is 302-757-5234, or they can email me at sparkenergy24@gmail.com.
Perfect. And there you have it. Great business, great personality, and so glad to have met you, and thank you for coming in and doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.